Until November 2024, there was once a railway line directly behind me, railway embankment, track on top, and some beautiful surroundings. Unfortunately, there was a storm and the railway embankments and the Stover Canal, they were both breached, and a torrent of water came bursting through and the railway was no more. The Heathfield railway line was once a steel artery through the Devon countryside, but after the fury of Storm Bert, a piece of that history was washed away. This was a line that up until November 2024 was a sleeping single track through the Teigne Valley. The storm would have other ideas. It would turn this line into a mangled ribbon of steel, its foundations completely scoured away by a torrent of water. The storm didn't just flood a landscape, it obliterated a once crucial freight route, raising the difficult question: is this now the end of this line and prospects for a return to use in the future? So today I'm going to follow part of the track bed leading up to this very breach. Today it has been cleared somewhat and repairs are ongoing to put this back to maybe how it was, or at least rebuild the defence to prevent further floods. So join me further up the track bed and we'll follow it down and arrive at this destination and see what condition it's in today and what happened back in November 2024. Now for a look at railmaponline.com, we shall pick up our railway line right where the Stover Canal once passed below the railway line, and we shall head a little way northwest in search of the breach. Once beyond the breach, I shall follow the track bed a little way further before meeting up again with the Stover Canal and then again onto the railway track bed just shy of Teigngrace station. I shall then return to my starting point and head a little way along the branch in the opposite direction. Zooming in just a little bit closer, you can see my start point on the trackbed where the canal passed below the line, and just up here, look, you can see this map has already been updated to show the expanse of the damage of the flooded area and the trackbed that was indeed washed away. And then beyond the breach itself, where I shall follow the trackbed to just shy of the former Teigngrace station. So we go on the track bed, out of use for a good 10 years, and I've picked up the route a little way down there, Jetty Marsh Basin. It's called Natural Nature Reserve, I believe that is now, or maybe it was some kind of industry to begin with. So the old canal was down there on my right hand side, and Newton Abbot is probably a stone throw just over there for the town centre. Track bed very, very clear at this point. Short distance further up, and this is looking a little bit stoopy. I think I'm going to have to crouch somewhat to get beyond these trees. Look, it's quite a lot and they're quite low down. It's not really too bad so far. I can kind of slalom my way around. That one looks a bit spiky. There we go. A few cobwebs knocking around as well. That should be fine getting through, and it does look somewhat clearer as we come below this tree here. It's extraordinary though, the growth down here. I've been down some lines we've tracked down maybe close to a good 30 odd years, and you don't see anything like this. Unbelievable, isn't it? This bit's a little bit cosy, but we can get through. I expect this is going to happen a few times. Okay, this is curious. The track bed is severed just here. Some track plates there, look, and a sleeper. Now what I'm going to assume is this is where the track bed was once left dangling in the air, so I don't think we're going to see the track hanging, but if I look, these random sleepers. There's a footpath over here. So I'm going to go and carefully have a look. There we go. And there we go. Ah, yeah. So you can see through here where the footpath has been washed away, and the railway track bed has also been cleared. So that was where the railway line came across just here, and for a good number of months the track was suspended like some kind of bridge in the Amazon, like an Indiana Jones kind of bridge, because all of the embankment was indeed washed away from, I believe, it was Storm Bert. But now they've cleared it all away and they've built up a new embankment just there that I'm pointing at. I didn't expect to see this amount of work done already. I'm hoping to pop the drone up and let you see it from above and get on to the track bed again up towards where Teigngrace station once was. The devastation would be absolute, the swollen River Teign carving a new path right through the railway embankment. Where tons of packed earth once stood to carry heavy freight, there is now just a gaping chasm. The ballast, the very bedrock of the railway, had vanished, so had the embankment. What's left were skeletal tracks twisted and suspended with an eerie defiance. This wasn't a simple washout. The line's very foundation had been erased. Rebuilding means rebuilding the land itself before a single track could ever be relayed. And the area down here is absolutely, it's just wrecked, isn't it? It's just been destroyed. Just up there was the footpath that you could in fact walk along, and the track bed is over there. So I'm going to see if I can actually get close up to that and take a look. You can see here where a brand new embankment has been put up, look, to contain any future incidents regarding water, storms and breaches. I did think that maybe if they was going to rebuild the embankment, it would be the new track bed, but that seems to have been put to bed, doesn't it? Because the track bed is there, but they've rebuilt it there, and that is such a shame, isn't it, for any potential reopening of this line to passenger services or any freight in the future. But with that there, they clearly got little intention of reopening this railway line. And on top of that new embankment, look, you can see down here, it looks like that's going to be prepping for refilling with water, but it's such a shame that it's here and not there where the railway was. So this is the end that I've just come from, away from Newton Abbot. You can see up there, it's just rubble, and the severed section of track is just beyond that. Countless bits of wood and track work pieces knocking around. There we go, look. So let's have a look over this side. There's the pathway just there, look, and that's completely gone. The track bed would have been this little piece of embankment just here. We've just been stood over there, so it would have come across here. So I wonder if we can get up to this side as well and get to the point where we reached. There we go then. So there's the track bed just there that we was just following, and it looks like we can in fact pick it up and continue our journey northwards somewhat. So I am going to do that just a little bit. Bundles of old sleepers there, look, and another one just there, and the track bed reappearing here, look. Right, let's plod on and see how much further we can get along here. Just left the breach behind right about there, the track's severed, and I'm hoping the track work just stay like this for a considerable distance. Okay, that's beaten me at this point. It's very, very dense down there, so I'm going to jump down to the footpath and attempt to walk around some of it and pick it up a little bit further down. Nice little building. I believe this was Teigngrace crossing just here, and the cafe is known as Tums. And look here, wow. Okay, we have to be careful here. Look at these crossing gates. How about that? Got to move because there's a car coming, I think. On the opposite side as well, look, a beautiful, beautiful gate as well, and the cafe building. Isn't that lovely? Still looks like it could be used today. You can see the track work there as well, look, leading up to the crossing. If I can twist you around. There we go, look. So to carry on, I'm following the course of the old Stover Canal. That is just down there to my left hand side, and the track bed is a step beyond that. There it is, look, there's the canal, track bed just the other side of those trees. So it's going to be a case of potentially getting across there somehow. It may or may not pay off, but I shall certainly give it a go. Right, this looks interesting. Looks like there's something there, and the railway may pass over it. Okay, check this out. We're down in the base of the canal, and we've got this, look. It's like some kind of overflow, isn't it, for the canal? And just the other side, we've got the bridge of the railway passing over. Jumping down from what I believe was probably an overflow, we have got the bridge, look. It is quite dull down here now. What are these wooden sections all about? Would these have been supports for an original bridge? They are very unusual, aren't they? Can walk around a little way. Very unusual. Below the bridge, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 arches, brick arches carrying it across with the steel decking. Now the next question is, can I get up there? Well, that's answered that question, hasn't it? So I'm stood on top of that bridge now that we was just looking at, and track bed again, ever present, concrete sleepers, rusted rails for a good 10 years. That's what it's like on the other side. So yeah, I believe it would have been a kind of a canal overflow. Still got all the railings present on both sides, and the canal on that side. Stone abutments there as well. Looks like it's been shotcreted at some point. But this is a nice example, this is. Before we do continue up in that direction there, let's just have a little bimble down here. It's not going to go far, but we may as well cover it while we're having a look at it. See, it looks like it's completely bushed off again. You can just see it in the centre of shot, can't you? But it's always worth a look, isn't it? Because you never know what you may or may not see. Yes, I'm not going to get too close because there's a load of scaffolding in a building just there, so I don't really want to be getting mixed up with that. So I'll just go to this section here where the bushes are, and some bits of ballast missing just there, look. Okay, I'm going to turn around and carry on. So now I'm on here again, I'm going to attempt to walk some more of it because it is pretty clear at the moment, and we'll see if we can get as far as the former station site. slight gap and dip down below the rails there, look. Only just, but there's a much bigger one over here. Around about 4 or 5 sleepers wide. You see it's all been, has this been washed away? And it looks like it, doesn't it? So I can actually walk across it. And if we go over here, I can show you it from the side, look. Where it's just hanging. It's not much compared to what the breach was like, but it's still a little bit substantial, isn't it? Gosh, this bit's even deeper. Look at that. You can absolutely just pass the camera below it, look. Blimey. It is in a bit of a peculiar state, isn't it, in some places? It is a shame this track bed has gone the way it has, because there were plans or talks to have this reopened up towards Bovey Tracy, I believe, a few miles up in this direction, and that would be a major setback, not getting that embankment repaired, won't it? So another nice little bridge just here. Not sure what it is, I think it's just some kind of diversion tributary. Because the water looks very, very still. Probably something to do with the canal again. So, now then, I think we've got a problem. And I think this is going to bring this journey to an end. Because down there, it's absolutely awful. I can see no way through at all down there. I can zoom in a little bit and show you, look, it's gone. It looks like it's not looking very good. So there was the station up there, so let's talk to you a little bit about that, and then I shall pick up the track bed where I first got on at the Newton Abbot end and see if we just look at a little bit more just down there. Teigngrace railway station was opened in December 1867. But it closed in January 1917 until May 1919 due to wartime economies. In 1939, the Great Western Railway designated it a halt, dropping its full station status to become Teigngrace Halt. It featured a single platform, a ticket office, waiting room, sidings and a now lifted passing loop. It would eventually close on the 2nd of March 1959. And I returned to railmaponline.com again to show you the location of where Teigngrace station was and where the remains are. Maybe I could come back another day and we'll have a look at this line once again a little bit further beyond where I got to. There's a bit down here, it looks a little bit lumpy bumpy, I don't know if you can really make it out. I might need to put a photo on to show you, but it's proper rickety and it's very, very bumpy looking in the rails. And it looks like it is to do where it passes over the former canal. You can just make out it sort of lifts up on that left rail. And it's where it goes over the canal down there. I'm back at the marshes where I began the walk up towards the breach up there. Now, in this direction down here, that does take us to Newton Abbot and the active main line, which we're not going to go anywhere near, but I'm just intrigued to have a little look around this bend. I do like a corner on the disused railway, so it's worth having a little bit of a meander around, isn't it? It looks like the track bed is about to straighten out. I know it's still curving, look. It's a very, very long curve down here. There's the view looking back. Slowly pan you around. And we're still curving. to the left. I think it may be straightening out, not far down there though. Another void down there, look, between a couple of sleepers, and we're at the end of that curved section too, look. It's really going to straighten out nicely down there. I probably won't go much further, as I can see a bridge down there actually. So I think I'm going to finish off just there. There we go, look, nice little bridge. There's a tent down there. Let's just have a little look below. That's nice, isn't it? Newton Abbot just down there. And that does seem quite appropriate, doesn't it? Stop. There's a stop board there. I imagine the drivers used to telephone the signal in to get access to the main line, which is around about half a mile in that direction down there. So that's been a brilliant and rewarding disused railway walk today. So back where I began, at the bridge, passing over the former canal. I do really hope you've enjoyed this video. I think this is the furthest south I've actually come in the UK mainland and done any kind of walk explore video. And what a fine example this has been. Anything else in the UK, let's come and see old track beds that we can walk along, and anything related to them, old canals. But this sort of thing, this is brilliant. I love it. So thank you very much for watching. Put your comments down below if there's any chance this will reopen, and obviously that needs to get repaired first. I'll see you in the very next video, and thank you for sticking with me. Bye for now.